How's it going, guys? Dom here with Dom's Vlogs. Never mind the haircut. I needed something to get out of this type of field of having a lot of hair. But today we're not talking about that. Let's talk about ghost ships. We have seen plenty of ghost ships. Some that basically have disappeared. The crew disappeared, the captain, the workers, everything. Just left without a trace, and yet the ships continue to sail until they are began to ready sink or ready to be nothing more than just a state of rusted decay. But today we're talking about a movie that is close to either being combined by the high-grossing film of all time, Titanic, and putting in that same type with a ghost ship story. This is the 2002 version of Ghost Ship. The movie itself is a very bizarre movie, to say the least. And I can't quite wrap my head around it. It is one of the most, if not the most, forgettable movies I've ever seen. And I can understand why. To sum it up, some ship by the name of the what was the name of that fucking boat again? I got it on my pictures here, so I'm just gonna read it off. Of course it's not on there. Well, the last name was called Greta, so I'm just gonna call it the Greta. Is a 600 passenger Italian ship that was sunk. Well, not usually sunk, but disappeared without a trace, and even calls back would just end up nothing. As evident, a criminal mastermind, or an Italian criminal mastermind, I wouldn't have called it the Black Hand, but I'm not going to quite call that, actually raided the ship just to get pieces of gold. They poisoned the crew, they shot the chefs, they killed the captain, they destroyed the passengers, even hanged a fucking lady. Well, a little girl. So the ship itself is nothing more than just greed, and showing how greed can actually destroy your life, which is a good message. Worst thing is, it was in 2002. So explorers, or should I say salvagers, are trying to salvage this abandoned ship. This ship hasn't been found for nearly 40 years since its disappearance in 1962. And that same year, the actual Greta actually found a piece of gold of another ship that looked like it was about to sink, in which they saved, and yet the crew was not even there. That's the same with this one. The crew was not even there. They were not even alive. It was like it just disappeared without a trace. And as evidence, the ship was in a rusted decay. So basically some type of, I would say the devil maybe, I'm not sure, because this is hard for me to even explain, takes all the passengers and crew, throws them into some kind of ghost slave army, so to speak, and uses them to use the ship to travel through different areas, and he uses each ship to keep his gold, so to speak. I don't even know what it is, because even there's the storyline is very confusing, because I've watched this movie 3 or 4 times. The first time I did it was I was a little kid and I didn't know any better. But now that I'm old enough and I've seen the movie 3 to 4 times already, I can clearly say that I have no explanation. And I hope at least one YouTuber, Film Comics Explained, finds a way to, get the damn movie and see what's going on. Why is there a haunted ship or something? As evidence, I mean, I would say this has something to do with former World War II people, attacking the ship just to get the gold, just to get through their crazy bidding. I don't know. But I mean, I'll be honest, if I'm not going to lie, the effects were damn awesome. Even though the CGI was atrocious. Ugh. So atrocious. Oh my god, the CGI was so atrocious. Oh my god. It was 2002. I cut some slack. Alright, well, the CGI itself, if you can even call it that, was pretty halfway decent. They used other effects, which were old school style, which was pretty neat, and they put a new spin on how people died in ships and other stuff like that. Even the ghost parts did work pretty well in the mind of some people, and it kind of worked pretty well to see how the ship used to look like and how all the passengers have passed away. Leftover bullet casings, bullet holes in the pool, bullet pieces in the car, the gold still being on the mailboxes, and quite frankly, other stuff that you have not seen yet. As Franklin, even 3 weeks ago, a former crew from some type of other ship had been on this ship, the old ship before, that had all the 600 passengers. Quite frankly, they died in the laundry chute for some reason, probably drowned to death. As evident, not very pretty. So, pretty much one of them left their digital watch where the archives was in the ship area. And as evident, that digital watch was still on. So quite frankly, people wanted the ship in order to literally get cash from it. That is greed in a nutshell. This is mostly greed. So this is not much of a ghost ship, but it is a greed ship. And it really cost the lives of over that many people. I mean, literally, this does remind me of the Titanic. I'm not going to quite reference it that much because I know it's a different storyline. And the storyline of the Titanic is a very sad storyline. And whoever remakes the storyline in a bad way, it's insulting the people who died on the ship. But quite frankly, this is no Titanic. This is a different type of ship, and it had a different story. It had a different marking. And quite frankly, the last time you would ever see somebody, at least, you know, give way and become a pervert. What do you expect? I mean, there's nothing I can quite say is that the ship itself is in a state of decay. It looks pretty interesting. I like the way how they tried to fix it and they actually try to get the ship going so at least they can get to shore. But the ending itself, I just wish that this ending was pretty much here. And for some of you who don't want it spoiled, you click off the video because I'm going to say it anyhow. So, at mostly the end, one of our lady characters by the name of, I think, Epps, I think was her name. I'm not quite sure. But she flat out C4'd the ship, exploding it, and all the ghost, like every ghost in this damn ship that was on this damn ship starts swimming and floating into the heavens as the ship begins to sink. More like a thank you to him, to them, you know. It was shocking. I thought that was the most beautiful scene of this movie. But then came the parts where she came off the one of the other ships. All right, nothing too crazy. I mean, she's rushed to the hospital. But then comes the biggest, most stupidest twist I can possibly see, because it's not much explained, and even if it was explained, I'll probably give it a pass. But this dumbass guy that had killed all these passengers just because of his fucking gold, flat out is still alive and using her former crew, her former salvaging crew, to load on the gold inside another ship so that he can use that ship as well. What are the fucking odds? As evident, we ended on that part, and that was it. I mean, how do I think it holds up is my question, and I mean, it's hard to say. It's not terrible, but it's not good either. I mean, I really do want to like this movie. I really do. But given the other movies that I have seen nowadays, and especially the, yes, I'm going to call it out, Disney, fucking awful knockoffs, it's been a downhill spiral. On top of a downhill spiral, I can't even explain how well these movies can get. Ghost Ship itself is the only type of movie that was both quickly forgotten, but also is the only one that looked like it was about to have a sequel. Like maybe a Ghost Ship 2. How is it going to hold up? I don't even know. I don't even think there is going to be a Ghost Ship 2 because, I mean, if that's the end, that's the end. I'd just leave it as that. I mean, the movie's not terrible, but it's not great either. It doesn't even, I don't think it even deserves a sequel. I think, like, I'm actually going to look this up while you guys are patient. Actually, wait, let me go grab my phone. Yes, I'm doing this old school. Grabbing the phone and just looking up how good this movie was. I'm surprised that probably many people would not like this movie, and I can understand. I can literally understand why many people would not like this movie. Hell, I can even question why many people don't remember it. So, let's look this up. So, Google and Ghost Ship. There we go. There's the film. Let's see what do we got. Ugh. Wow. Jesus. So, we'll go IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, and the Metacritic. Okay? And then we'll go over the likes. So, IMDb gave this a 5.5. Half and half, I'll cut it that slack. It's alright. And then Rotten Tomatoes gave it 15%. Really? I want to call it at least 30, 25% on Rotten Tomatoes. Maybe a 40. Not that bad, but it's not good either. And then the Metacritic gave it a 28%. That's fair. It's fair. And then a 92% of people liked this movie. So let's read this this thing here. And then the release date was October 22nd, 2002. Stated here is in a remote region of the Bering Sea, a boat salvage crew discovers an eerie remains of a grand passenger liner thought lost for more than 40 years. But once on board the eerie carnivorous ship, the crew of the Arctic Warrior discovers that the decayed vessel is anything but deserted. It's home to something more deadly and horrific than anything they've encountered in all their years at sea. Oh, sure. So that means this thing was explained? No, it was not even explained. So why even bother that? Death Ship. I might have to take a look at that one. Well, Katie Herwood, which was one of the main passengers from the ship in the movie, was played by Emily Browning. A couple of other people too that even I wouldn't even know about. Oh, look at that. There's the one who played this Italian lady by the name of Francesca, which was the red dress lady in the movie, the one that speaks Italian. This actually has the same actress that has the same name as Francesca. That's kind of crazy. So we also have some other people too. Yeah. Yeah, so like I said, how does the damn thing hold up? I mean, like I said, it's not good, but it's not terrible. I'd rather give this thing at least, if my mind, 1 out of 10, a 5. Because, let's see what the reviews are. I'd like to see some comments. Alright. Oh boy, this guy's got a long, ugh. Alright, I can't read that. Oh, Jesus. A lot of people, a lot of explaining. No more explaining. Ugh. Okay, here's a good one. I have loved this movie since I was young, as a child, and more into the art, music, score, and the thrill of the film. Watching as an adult, I understand the storyline, and I can be honestly appreciated it a lot more than before. It is definitely one of the favorite movies. I can agree, it's not terrible. I can agree with that. Oof, here comes a dislike. I think this movie is great, but it had a stupidest ending ever. I can agree. Reagan Kirby, I agree. That ending was so stupid. I mean, I like the end where like the ghosts like were free, but then that twist ending they had to just put in there just it was so bad. Ending ever because it ends like there should be another one. When really there wasn't another one. There wasn't even a damn sequel. Therefore, you should make another one, but overall, this was a great movie, and if your kids want to see a scary movie, this is the one because it's not too scary. I agree, it's not that scary. The best movie series you can watch, its element on life and death is good. If you want to release that, nothing is worth more than a decent death. A lot of positives, not too many negatives. Here's one negative. Definitely one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I'll give it a 3 out of 10 for ironic goodness. Ugh. It's kind of gross. You think, Josh G? I like this movie, but I think it's time for a new one. True. Not a great film, but not totally terrible. I can agree with that too. A lot of people like this film. Oh, here's one. A one-time watch, I would suggest that's all. Yeesh. It really sucks. David Rogers really had that one. Yeah, I think it's like just a 5 out of 10. I don't call it that terrible. It's not great either. I mean, come on. This is a movie that I'd rather watch more than any movie that is out right now. I mean, sure, I want to watch Toy Story 4 when it comes out, and also Terminator Dark Fate, but if I wanted to watch a movie on Netflix, or hell, even online, or even when I download on my files, just to have myself a nice calm day, the rain is coming, the satellite dishes are down, but the Wi-Fi is still on, Ghost Ship is basically one of my only movies I can prefer. I wouldn't say it's the worst movie. It's not the worst. It's not even that great either. It's not a masterpiece. So it doesn't even, I don't think it deserves a sequel. So I think it definitely deserves to have that type of ending, even though it's the worst and stupidest ending ever. It's not that bad of a movie. I don't think it sucks that bad. I don't think it's terrible. And I really think that this movie should be praised a little bit more than it is now. So, I want you guys to know. And if you guys have never seen the movie, go check it out on Netflix, or if you found it online, it's called Ghost Ship, 2002. October 22nd, 2002 is the date that it came out. Ghost Ship 2002. Go ahead and check it out. See what you think. Put it in the comments below. Tell me. Do you like the movie? Do you hate the movie? Do you think it deserves praise? Or do you think it should be in the bottom of the barrel as the most forgettable movie ever? Because I've seen forgettable movies from 2003 and 2004. And that's saying a lot. So, as always, guys, stay scary. I'll see you next time. And be on the lookout for Friday because part 2's coming.